Beware of the heat. It is a Fox 54 weather impact alert day. It's where we start. I'm Kenesha Dees. Mother Nature takes it up a notch today. Just take a look out at Drake Mountain. You can see a little bit of cloud cover, but yeah, we did experience some heat. They're not doing too much either to keep the temps down this afternoon. We'll see if we're in for a heat repeat like today. Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman in the studio with their forecast. Jordan, is the worst of the heat over yet, or are we in for a repeat?
Yeah, I do believe the worst of the heat is definitely over across all of North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Still definitely hot this evening, but we're kind of coming down off what we had through the course of the afternoon. And you're right, the cloud cover, while it is kind of hanging out up there, it never really does anything for us this time of year. It adds a little bit of color to the sky. It's something to look at, but it's rather ineffective at actually cooling us off. 93 degrees right now in Huntsville, 94 in Scottsboro, 93 in Fort Payne, 92 in Florence, lower 90s for our friends up across southern Middle Tennessee. Those are the air temperatures. When you factor in the fact that the dew points are sitting in the mid and upper 70s, you get how hot it actually feels. The combination of the air temperatures plus the amount of moisture present means our heat indices are incredibly high. Most of us heat index of right around 109 this evening. Yeah, 6 o'clock in the evening, and it still feels like it's 109, 110 degrees across a good chunk of the area. Now, the good news here is that the heat is going to come to an abrupt halt, all thanks to a cold front that is going to push its way through as we head into the overnight. We'll talk about exactly what that means for you here in a couple of minutes.
The Pulaski Police Department needs your help finding a missing woman. This is Justice George. Authorities are searching for Justice George, and the Pulaski Police Department described her as having green eyes and blonde hair. If you've seen her, take another good look. You're asked to call the Pulaski Police Department at the number on your screen, 931-424-4404. We've learned tonight no charges will be filed after a deadly shooting inside a Huntsville hotel last night. The Huntsville Police Department says officers responded to the Comfort Suites on Turok Circle around 7:30 p.m. When officers arrived, they say they found 29-year-old Patrick Blood suffering from a gunshot wound. Despite life-saving efforts, Blood died from his injuries. The man who fired the gun remained at the scene and cooperated with investigators, they say. HPD says the shooting happened during a fight, and detectives determined the gun was used in self-defense. The findings were reviewed by the Madison County District Attorney's Office, which agreed. According to HPD, no criminal charges will be filed. An ARAP man now charged in connection with the deadly shooting from earlier this year. On February 17th, officers responded to a reported shooting on the 600 block of Lookout Drive around 1:45 p.m. When officers arrived, they say they found 76-year-old Marvin Christian suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to Marshall Medical North before being airlifted to Huntsville Hospital, where he later died. During this investigation, officers arrested Robert Mallon on unrelated charges and identified as a person of interest. Investigators later obtained a warrant charging Mallon with murder. He's held in the Marshall County Jail without bond. Law enforcement returned to the Bermuda Lake subdivision today as they continue investigating a series of neighborhood shootings. Investigators say the case began after gunfire struck a home where a woman and her 6-year-old son were inside, along with a nearby car. So far, 3 people have been arrested. Cordarius Holden, Trevante Ligon, and Caleb Federer are each charged with 2 counts of shooting into an occupied dwelling and 1 count of shooting into an unoccupied vehicle. During a recent search of a home on Cotton Bayou Drive, deputies say they found 4 guns, including 2 that had allegedly been illegally modified. The Sheriff's Office says the investigation remains active and vows to identify and arrest everyone responsible. A former Alabama resident among those killed in this weekend's mass shooting in Seattle. This shooting happened Sunday at the Seattle Center, about a block from the city's iconic Space Needle. The shots rang out at an annual food festival that features hundreds of local vendors and live music performances. Authorities say 3 people were killed, including 56-year-old Ashley Whitehead here, who just moved to Washington from Alabama a year prior. According to the Associated Press, Whitehead was enjoying the festival with one of her 2 daughters when she was shot. Whitehead was taken to the hospital where she died during surgery. Her family remembers her as a free spirit who loved nature, arts, and crafts, and most of all, her 2 daughters. A GoFundMe has also been created to help support her family, which you can find on FOX54.com. A community meeting underway as Huntsville Utilities shares more details about a proposed battery storage project in North Huntsville. HU says it could help the power grid when electricity demand is at its highest, but first, they want to hear from the people who live nearby. The proposed battery you see here would be installed at the Stringfield substation. Huntsville Utilities says it would store electricity when demand is low, then release it during periods of high use. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala tells us more about the proposed project.
Think of this like when you fill your water bottle up in the morning. You store what you need ahead of time, so it's there when you need it later. Huntsville Utilities says this battery would work in a similar way, storing electricity beforehand, so it's available when demand reaches its peak. The 83,000-pound battery would be the first grid-scale battery of its kind in North Alabama. Huntsville Utilities CEO Wes Kelly says it could help reduce strain on transformers during extreme heat or cold when thousands of homes are using more electricity at the same time.
This is the second meeting to discuss the Tesla battery installation as proposed for Stringfield Road. It is going to help the infrastructure and actually help the grid, because when the power goes out, it's going to eliminate some of those issues. But, you know, we have the good and we have the bad, and I just want the community to be involved in making the decision, because something of this magnitude coming into your community, you should have some input and some say.
Watkins says tonight's meeting gives you a chance to ask questions, review the project, and share any concerns before the utility moves forward. Huntsville Utilities says it will review that feedback before making its next decision. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Fox 54 will continue following the discussion and bring you updates after the meeting tonight at 9. Huntsville City Schools mourns the death of a middle school principal just days before the start of the new school year. School officials announced yesterday Chapman Middle School principal Donna Peavy died Sunday night. She's been in education for more than 2 decades. Assistant principals Thaddeus Dawsey and John Thornton say counselors will be available to support anyone needing help processing the loss. They also ask for you to keep her family in your thoughts and prayers. The cause of Peavy's death unknown. Madison City Schools has a new district superintendent ahead of the new school year. During a special called meeting just moments ago, the district announced current interim superintendent Eric Terrell. He'll take over as the district's permanent superintendent. Terrell first joined the district back in 2004, serving as a teacher. He has served as assistant principal and principal before being appointed as an assistant superintendent in 2017. Terrell takes over for Dr. Ed Nichols, who retired at the end of the last school year. More than $5 million going to the town of Ardmore for a new water treatment plant expected to serve more than 1,000 people. The funding comes from Representative Dale Strong, who secured the money from the fiscal year's community project funding. It'll serve the community with clean drinking water and backup water for the town's emergency response. The funding comes less than a year after the town was temporarily disconnected from the Limestone County Water Authority, leading to a water crisis that left residents scrambling for drinking water. According to Congressman Dale Strong, it's a critical addition to the town's infrastructure.
They couldn't grow their community. They could not. You start trying to go without water. Last thing you want to do is to have a fire or have an emergency situation, but also safe drinking water. We've got to be sure that we've got that throughout our country, and especially here in Ardmore. This expansion is going to be big for them, not just today, but also in the days ahead.
In addition, it will make Ardmore compliant with new regulations from the Environmental Protection Agency limiting forever chemicals or PFAS in the water supply.
In small towns, you have a small tax base, and sometimes that well runs dry, and you have to make sure that you have to manage it right. But we have to do some lot of stuff to be able to make sure our water is safe. And so this is going to help us do that with that treatment plant and so forth. So we'll be able to we'll be able to take care of the water, and I think we're going to be in good shape.
The move is also decreasing Ardmore's reliance on water purchased from Limestone County in Tennessee, with an estimated groundbreaking at the start of next year. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Doug Jones will hold a town hall in Huntsville tomorrow as he campaigns for Alabama's top spot. The event at Campus 805 will be Jones' first appearance in North Alabama since his unscripted town hall in Sheffield July 9th. Organizers say this event will feature unscreened questions with no set script or topics off limits. Jones continued his campaign in Birmingham yesterday, where he criticized how the state is currently run.
The last century, our state has been governed by a small circle of people in Montgomery who learned that the surest way to hold power is to cut ordinary Alabamians out of the decisions that shape our lives. The method has always been the same: divide, frighten, keep folks angry at each other so they never stop to ask, who's actually running things here? Who's getting rich? While too many hardworking Alabamians find it harder and harder to just get by.
Jones will take questions from the public beginning at 5 p.m. He'll face Republican gubernatorial candidate Tommy Tuberville in the Alabama general election, which is on November 3rd.
At the end of the day, the community is the reason that we're delivering what we're doing with the music office.
City of Huntsville's music scene hitting a good note. We've got the results of that report and what that means for us economically. That's next. We'll head to the River City, where preparations are underway for the new school year. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell learns how school leaders in Decatur are getting ready. The first day of school right around the corner, in Decatur City Schools is focusing on providing transportation for thousands of students across the district. As preparations continue for the upcoming school year, district leaders say they're working to ensure bus routes run smoothly despite rising fuel costs. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell shares what you need to know about the school's plans.
Preparing for a new school year means getting classrooms cleaned, floors waxed, and teachers ready. But before learning can take place, Decatur City Schools has to ensure thousands of students have a safe way to get to school. However, getting buses on the road has a growing concern as fuel costs continue to peak across North Alabama. But Superintendent Dr. Michael Douglas says those prices will not affect bus routes.
Yes, we are concerned about the price of gas. It is going up, but that won't impede our ability to get children to school. No plan to reduce routes. We're going to provide the same amount of routes we always have.
While bus routes are secured for the first day of class on August 6th, having a full staff of bus drivers remains a battle throughout the year. Unexpected illnesses and substitute staffing shortages are among the hurdles faced during the school year, prompting the district's constant call for bus drivers.
Always need drivers. We've got enough for the first day of school. It's always when somebody's sick. Somebody's routinely sick, but We've had a lot of very creative ways to get out and recruit bus drivers, but we would welcome anybody that, if you're retired and you want a good second job and some flexible hours, we're always looking for good bus drivers.
With new drivers, new students, and adjusted routines, school officials are asking parents for patience during those first few days of drop-off and pickup. They say traffic delays are common early on, but routines typically smooth out within the first week. In Decatur, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Dr. Douglas also reminds you and your students to complete those summer assignments. This way, teachers and students can get right to work on the first day of school. Nice ice, and it's new for the Huntsville Havoc. We'll take you to the VBC for the installation. In the meantime, Jordan, we could cool down with some ice. The heat triggering a Fox 54 weather impact alert day.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been more excited for Havoc season than I am today because it was incredibly hot through the course of the afternoon. Still hot this evening, but a cold front comes through tonight and changes all that. We'll discuss in a couple of minutes.
Over County 911, what's the address of your emergency room? Okay, your wife is in a bar. You said she's unresponsive.
This is what he's going to tell you.
How to get out of that situation.
And I grabbed the gun.
Trying to find the first place to put a body. No, sir. The only thing they could do was kill him.
You want to say anything? We, the jury, and to find the defendant.
Yes, it's a Fox 54 weather impact alert day. And right now we see cloud cover, but throughout the day in the Tennessee Valley, we saw plenty of sunshine, a key indicator that it was a hot one.
Yeah, incredibly hot this afternoon. How much did you get to avoid staying in or going outside today?
Oh, as much as possible.
Ah, very good. So basically you went from the front door of Casa de D's to the car.
Yeah. Actually, the garage.
Oh, very nice. Yes, it's good to have a garage, isn't it? But you still had to go from car to inside of work.
Yes, and at every opportunity, I made sure I was inside of something. Even if I stepped outside, I went to my car.
Right, right. So you made it as short a period of time as possible.
Yes.
Yes.
You did too?
Oh, 100%. Considering I have to wear a suit to work, I was not about to spend a prolonged period of time outside wearing pants. Props to all of those folks that do have to work outside in this summer heat. So incredibly thankful for all of the construction crews and every other industry that works outside in the great state of Alabama. Even after 6 o'clock at night, temperatures currently sitting in the low mid 90s, 93 in Huntsville, 90 in Athens, 92 degrees right now in Florence, a pair of 92s for both Pulaski and Fayetteville. Up in southern Middle Tennessee, Fort Payne, good evening. You currently find yourselves sitting at 93, but it feels much hotter. Heat indices right now, again, it's after 6 o'clock at night. As a matter of fact, it's almost 6:30 at this point, and in some cases, we're talking about heat indices 109, 110 degrees. So bear that in mind if you are going to be going out for dinner this evening. Normally, I would encourage you to eat outside. maybe it's best to eat indoors this evening. Now, a cold front is going to push its way through the Tennessee Valley as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. So the heat is going to be somewhat short-lived because this cold front is actually going to be meaningful. Normally, a July cold front is not really meaningful. It doesn't impact us at all, but our temperatures are actually going to drop, and we might see a little bit of rain develop across the Tennessee Valley. We're also going to see the dew points drop. These are disrespectfully high. Dew points are currently sitting in the mid and upper 70s. Look at that, Fayetteville, talking about a dew point of 80 degrees. There is so much moisture in the atmosphere. That's why we're talking about those higher heat indices of 109, 110 through the course of the afternoon. We had heat indices as high as 112 or 113, and that's thanks to the amount of moisture in our atmosphere. That's thanks to the higher dew points. The dew points are really going to begin to drop as we head into your Wednesday, drop a little bit more as we head into Thursday and Friday. But of course, this is going to be a short-lived thing as we head into the early days of August. Dew points are going to begin to climb a little bit. The moisture is going to build back into the atmosphere. By Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be talking about dew points back in the low and mid 70s. In case you're counting, 56 days until the official start of fall, which, depending on the year we're having, could mean something. It could actually mean nothing. Radar looks nice and quiet this evening. I would anticipate a couple of showers are going to build into the area as we head into the overnight, early into your Wednesday morning. Futurecast is trying to keep some of this activity around through the later part of Wednesday morning, early into the afternoon. I'm not 100% confident in that. We could have a couple of passing showers for the Wednesday morning commute, but honestly, I think that would be about it. After that, we get rid of the cloud cover through the evening, the overnight, and then early into your Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon is really going to be a fantastic day. We get a few fair weather cumulus clouds to pop up across the area, but that'll be about it. Trying to increase the cloud cover as we head into your Friday morning, and then Futurecast attempts to bring some rain into the area as we head into Friday afternoon and Friday evening. I think Futurecast is probably overdoing the coverage here just a little bit. Have a good look at the next 7 days. Not bad for your Wednesday. Now, we are going to start Wednesday with a little bit of cloud cover, but that cloud cover should give way to gradual sunshine. 90 degrees on Wednesday, 88 on Thursday, 89 on Friday. Thursday probably going to be the best day of the forecast period. Plenty of sunshine and low humidity. The weekend, the last full weekend of summer vacation, unfortunately comes with opportunities for rain. 86 on Saturday, 85 Sunday, 85 again on Monday, 87, and continued opportunities for rain by the time we get to next Tuesday.
The city of Huntsville has released its 2026 music audit, its first since 2018, and the results show the Rocket City is striking the right chord. According to the audit, music consultancy Sound Diplomacy found that more than 3,000 jobs were supported in Huntsville thanks to the music scene. That same scene also bringing more than $275 million in economic output, with 40 music exhibition spaces added since 2018. For City of Huntsville Music Officer Matt Mandrella, he says it's been amazing to see Huntsville embrace music.
You know, you can't really have shows without fans, and so, you know, just the appetite for everything across the board, with arts to big shows, small shows, everything from youth sports to professional sports to big conferences. You know, Huntsville comes out and our community comes out and supports events. And at the end of the day, like, the community is the reason that we're delivering what we're doing with the music office and why it's successful.
Find the full results of the 2026 music audit on our website, FOX54.com. Well, Huntsville Havoc returns to the VBC this October, and this time they'll be hitting all new ice. One of the last remaining day one fixtures of the Von Braun Center is now under renovation as the old ice system is now being replaced. When Fox 54 visited the Probst Arena today, more than 6 miles of piping was in the process of being laid down for the system. Check it out. Samantha Nielsen with the VBC tells us that it's exciting to see the fans and the city help invest in the arena.
The fans keep coming out. They come game after game and selling out the games. And it's exciting for us to be able to, not only with our VBC leadership and our Board of Control, but also just through the city leadership, continue investing and seeing this as a true gem of Huntsville. You know, we're right in the heart of downtown, so making sure, even though we're a more than 50-year-old facility, you don't know that when you come in the building.
Oh yeah, well, the arena floor expected to be refilled with concrete next Tuesday. The Havoc's home opener set for Friday, October 23rd. And we'll stay with sports. Mo, what's happening with UNA?
Well, a legendary UNA football player is ready to lead the charge in New Orleans with the Tulane Green Wave. We'll have more with Will Hall next in sports.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush, fast-paced news updates featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.
Hey everybody, for the past 2 seasons, the Tennessee Valley has been closely connected to the Tulane football program with Grissom High grad John Summerall leading the charge. Now he's off at Florida, and even though he's over there, the Green Wave is still led by another legend from North Alabama. UNA Lions football standout from way back in the day, Will Hall, is now in charge of the Green Wave. He attended his first American Football Conference Media Days this week. He's quite familiar with the Green Wave. He was an assistant under both Willie Fritz and Summerall in recent years. Hall is the winner of the Harlan Hill Trophy. That's the trophy that's handed out to the Division II Heisman, or the equivalent of it, while he was playing at UNA. He used to be an underdog, and he's ready to bring that mentality to a Tulane program that just made the CFP.
Anybody that knows me, man, I've had a chip on my shoulder from the beginning. I was a 5'8" quarterback before being a 5'8" quarterback was cool. I had to prove people wrong my whole life as a player, and then I was a small college. I played Division II football and then became a Division II coach and was a Division II head coach at age 30. Had to work my way up the hard way into this profession to make it to this level. So I think anybody that knows me would tell you that the moment you meet me, you feel the chip on my shoulder just by the way I act and the way I attack life.
Hall and the Green Wave traveling to ACC country to kick off their 2026 campaign. They'll take on reigning champ Duke at 2:30 on September the 5th. You can watch that live on the ACC network. Now coming up tonight in sports at 9 p.m. on Fox 54, we'll take you to MEAC Media Day and check in with Alabama A&M's first opponent, Howard, a squad that Kanisha Dees knows all about. I'll have that and highlights of the Trash Pandas. Kanisha.
I sure do, Mo. Thank you. Coming up tonight at 9, a community in mourning after a deadly shooting at a festival in Seattle. And one victim was one of Alabama's very own. We learn more about her. A federal judge denies the request of an Alabama man on death row, the state to move forward with his execution. Details ahead. And a small plane, as we end this show, made an emergency landing on a Southern California beach after the pilot reported engine trouble shortly after takeoff. Take a look. The pilot says the engine quit while he was in contact with air traffic control, prompting him to declare a Mayday emergency. With few options available, he safely landed the aircraft on the sand at Huntington Beach. Witnesses described the landing as nearly perfect, and no injuries were reported. It looks like there was some video capturing the landing. Mm-hmm. Oh, there it is.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how coincidental that they just so happened. I mean, I'm sure they weren't intending on an emergency happening, but
no.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, beaches are long and relatively flat, so
They are.
I don't know. When you're having an emergency, put the plane where the plane fits.
Yeah, and Huntington Beach is a very, very popular beach in Southern California. So the fact that they were able to kind of get people out the way that quickly too is pretty amazing.
Hats off to the pilot.
I mean, I feel if I looked up in the sky and there was something coming at me, I would just naturally move as well. So I'm sure that helped.
Yeah, lots of agility there. Well, we'll have more show for you later on tonight at 9. We'll see you then.